Yo, what's up, ladies, gentlemen, and they-thems, and welcome to Selene Apoptosis. I feel like I got that right. I don't know. It's just a little game I found, scrolling through Steam, and it piqued my interest because it looked like it is a visual novel, but it looked like a horror visual novel that I think I'd enjoy a lot. And I like to play games on this channel that pique my interest and hopefully pique your interest. Now, you already can see. Well, you're just wearing the Shepherdess shirt, holographic nightmare shirt. What cosplay are you wearing? Funny thing. See, I wore these pants yesterday because my school was doing a little spirit week, and it was opposite day, dressed the opposite of a friend, and so I just wore white pants and black shirt, and my friend wore white shirt, black pants, and he pointed out, because he likes Jujutsu Kaisen a lot, that I got the Toji fit on, and then I looked him up, and it was like, you're not wrong. I do kind of got the Toji fit on. I don't have little thing on me, but I could just get in the Lynetta, pop her up on my shoulders, have her there the whole video. But I'm not trying to do that. It's not Sucker for Love related. So go back on the bed. Y'all get annoyed yet at those little intervals when I explain why I'm wearing or explain my cosplay or for cosplay month? Y'all probably begging for cosplay month to end. I don't blame you. Let's stop delaying and actually get into this game because it looks pretty good. And it has voice acting too, so you don't have to hear my annoying ass voice every time I play these games. The sound was driving him crazy. Monotonous, muffled thuds were resonating throughout his head with dull pain. The pain was too strong, nothing unbearable, but that sound, more than anything else, he wanted the sound to just stop. Thud. Nevertheless, the knocking sounds didn't end. He knew it well enough because he himself was their origin. Thud, thud, thud. Ooh. And if I press my middle mouse button, it has the UI. So I could what I usually like to do, especially during these long videos. I hope this isn't that long, but especially during these long visual novel videos, I do like to if you wonder, sometimes I usually cut in between some stuff randomly. It's because I write down on a piece of paper timestamps of when it's a good time to take a screenshot or a thumbnail for the video. The nose of his slipper was hitting the rear of the desk over and over again, like a huge fluffy moth frantically ramming against the window glass. He wanted plenty of things. He wanted to pay his rent in time this month, not to displease his landlady again. He wanted to finish the script, at least in draft, because a draft is way better than nothing, something one can work with. And he wanted to sleep. No, not quite that. The problem, a serious one, was that he didn't really want to sleep. He leaned back in his chairs and rubbed his shut eyes, pressing his eyeballs against until dancing pale lights appeared. Of course, he took the sleeping pills. When a healthy 8 hours sleep gives way to a not so healthy 5-hour nap, then a 3 hours eyes shut break, and then goes away entirely, you stop thinking how this will impact your liver. You just want to sleep. You need to sleep, especially if you have already taken an advance payment for the first part of a gig, and the goddamn text just won't write itself. However, if the text could in fact write itself somehow, he would probably lose his job. He didn't have any illusions in this regard. As soon as the neural networks get smart enough, he and dozens of other ghostwriters will vanish into the morning mist of a new era in literature. He didn't have much of a name or connections, only some skills and a knack to meet the deadlines for the most part. The client was content with this, and he was content with the pay, so everything went well until the pills started failing him. Blam. This time the tic got too strong. His foot jerked and hit the board with very noticeable pain. Seemed like he even heard his toes crack. He muttered a short curse and rolled his chair away from the desk, although he knew now that his attention was not fixed on the blank text file, the tic should go away all by itself. It's funny how the consciousness is detached from the body. He often thought about it, especially while having insomnia. It's like you're working as a team, but your partner starts pulling something. You seem to have a common goals, but when all hell breaks loose, you are suddenly left alone with it, and your partner is more interested in watching the fire than fighting it. In the end, you have no idea what's on his mind. Well, at least there won't be any more knocking. Good. Small window at the far side of the room flashed with white for a moment. A storm? Now that he thought about it, the day was hot. The vicious, stagnant air still filled the rooms. This and the barely audible squeak of an overheated network filter, he became sensitive to the things when he couldn't sleep for a long time, made the entire room seem to vibrate a little. Like a cocoon that's about to hatch. Actually, that did sound like a good line. He rolled back into the table and was about to write that thought down, but paused over the keyboard. Write that down, write that down! He remembered the individual words that and the general idea, but the sentence had already slipped away. This time the white light seemed to fill the entire room. Then a thunder followed, resembling a low gut roar of something large and famished. Good Lord. He called to God way too often for someone who never goes to church. Just a habit he inherited from his mother, a furious pattern of raindrops pounding from his window. There's no way he could work like this, not now. But maybe it's for the best. Since he was a little boy, he slept well during the storms. He had to seize this moment. He groped for a packet of sleep pills. It's nice to have your working tools at hand. Popped the pills into his mouth and then opened the window to hear the steady pattern of rain. Then he went to bed and collapsed on the bed on top of his bed sheets, his clothes still on. What, do you expect him to sleep naked? I mean, do you, but I like clothes when I sleep. He could tell by the sound of the water had flooded the windowsill and was trickling down the floor. Why would you open the windowsill in the first place during a storm? It doesn't seem like common sense now, does it? He decided that was a small price to pay. He felt a pleasant chill of cloth beneath his skin. The wavering haze was gradually fading from the room. Yet, the sleep did not come. He tried to take off his shoes, change positions, take a pillow cover himself, throw the pillow away to the other side of the room. Nothing helped. He just lay there with his eyes closed, and though his closed eyelids felt heavy, he knew it was an illusion. All in vain. He's not sleeping. He can't sleep. Ooh. Thud. At first he thought he was imagining things. Thud, thud, thud. Sometimes the knocking paused, but it never stopped completely. Oh, it was like... Sorry. The sound came from below, from the first floor. Someone was banging incessantly on the door. And with each thud, he could feel the rage building up like a tight knot of pain around his stomach. He is trying to sleep. Is it really that hard to just leave a man alone? At least at night, at least in the house that he pays for, specifically so that nobody could bother him. He opened his eyes, easy just as he thought, sprang to his feet and ran down the stairs. Something was boiling inside him. Halfway to the door, he took a turn to the cupboard and pulled out an old baseball bat. He wasn't likely to actually use it. He asked himself if he would, as he reached for the door handle. No, he certainly wouldn't, but he's angry, and he wanted the night guest to learn it. Yeah, beat them over the head with some sense. It's 12 in the morning, and you're banging at the door at this night of hour. What are you thinking? What the hell? The rain was still pouring, or rather, it was actually getting stronger. As his mother would say, and the floodgates of heaven tore open. His mother used to say a lot of things. That was one of the list of reasons why he had to rent this overpriced house where anyone could start banging on the door in the middle of the night. A cat, for example. Oh, what the hell? Ohio gozaimasu is the good morning. I don't know good evening, good night in Japanese. I only know good morning, ohio gozaimasu, and hello, konnichiwa. You see that little cut right there? Other than having to sync up the time, because I do have to cut in between the video to sync up face cam and audio and stuff like that. That might be the thumbnail. That might be the thumbnail. Who knows? He said it again, this time aloud. A cat was standing on his porch. She looked like a purebred British Shorthair in all respects, except for the color. Aside from the smoky gray head, it seemed as if she was dropping into a vat of white paint, while her lower parts was dipped into a black one. Wet fur clung to her small, rather skinny body, dripping in the water. Why a cat girl of all things? The cat could have probably slipped into the house as soon as the door opened, but instead she froze as if waiting for the host to say something. Don't let her in! She only comes in if you accept her in. Oh, fook. See, this would be a dream of mine to have. Just like have a not a cat girl, just a regular girl. Come up to the front of my door. You know, when I'm like living alone like that. Come up to the like, and just, you know what? Come on in. I need the company. It's cold. It's cold. It's raining. I get it. It was cold outside, much colder than one might think. He didn't feel angry anymore because you probably want to lay some mad pipe. I don't blame you, my boy. All right, come in. He stepped aside, freeing the doorway. The cat didn't move. So you don't want to, huh? He was about to say fine then, close the door, go back to the second floor, and lie in a suffocating half-sleep until morning. But he finally realized what's wrong. The bat. He threw it away, aiming for the sofa, but missed. The bat clattered on the floorboards. The cat followed in... Excuse my illiteracy right now. The cat followed into the darkness with her round yellow eyes. The sounds didn't frighten her. He sighed. I won't hurt you. Come in if you want. The cat raised her eyes at him. Hold up. Let me also like... Can I save? Yeah, there we go. Save. You already know that I like to be doing this stuff. For the first time, he actually saw and couldn't help admiring how big and yellow they are. The cat's pupils were also large and incredibly round, like two full moons in an eclipse. Just as he was about to close the door for the second time, the cat murmured something and fluttered into the house, butting him with her wet head as she passed by. He smiled. Strictly speaking, at this very moment, his line had ended. If the landlady found out, and he was sure she would, he'd have to look for a new place to live. There are plenty of lonely, bored seniors in the neighborhood, he thought. And they only have two hobbies, observing and reporting. The subject and the recipient aren't that important. Well, it's fine. Maybe he'd leave the suburbs. Maybe he'd move to an apartment, since him getting privacy didn't work out anyway. The brain was getting stronger still. He closed the door. Uh-oh. What's about to happen? The cat explored the house with cautious curiosity, stopping by different objects as if trying to understand their purpose. Watching that was amusing, so amusing he forgot about the stain. When he remembered, it has already spread out, a dark spot of water in the place where the cat clung to him. He pulled the wet cloth away from his body and stared at it blankly for a moment, then almost groaned aloud. The cat was soaked, so she probably got a lot of dirt in the house. He decided not to turn on the light. He had enough disappointment for the night. Instead, he went to get a towel. All right, come here. The cat turned her head to the voice and froze in place. She was examining the TV, a lifeless black mirror, a plasma panel, and a lacquer frame that he hadn't even touched since moving in. In the reflection, the cat herself looked back, or black, I don't know. She gave him a long appraising look and then, with a sudden eagerness, trotted towards him, deftly avoiding the obstacles. He was surprised. Maybe the cat decided that he was more interesting than the TV, or maybe she acted out of respect for her host's will. Anyway, he felt grateful. Finally, someone he can actually negotiate with. Suddenly, he thought how nice it would be to crawl under the blanket with a warm ball of fur. It would surely have helped him fall asleep. As a child, he had a cat, gray, huge, brash, immensely ugly, and equally beloved. Kind of like Los, my dog. He often fell asleep hugging him. The cat's name was Timo. Why does that sound familiar? That sounds like TiVo. Or whoever was featured on Modern Jam from Utopia, Travis Scott. And he faded into a June night many years ago. The cat bumped her wet head against him once more. He thought that cats usually shake off their water themselves. Okay, so I don't think I mentioned this yet, but why are you referring it to as like a cat? When this is not a 100% a pussy cat. This is a human cat. This is human cat or a. Don't make me start thinking about bestiality now. Gross. Usually, but perhaps not always. Hey, easy there. You're all wet. The cat looked up at him with her moon-shaped eyes and murmured something again. Do something about it then. Hey, aren't you supposed to have a voice acting? He smiled and got to work. He had to squeeze the fur thoroughly so the towel soon turned into a wet rag. Should he bathe the cat? Do it already! That won't do. I'll give you a bath. As he carried her to the bathroom, the cat stayed still in his arms, a warm and incredible light body pressed against his chest. He was expecting the cat to bring out the claws at any moment. Maybe as he opens the door. Now? Or as he turns on the lights on? Maybe this time. But nothing happened. The cat glanced around the new room and looked at him again with her intelligent, almost human-like gaze. Wait, did I say before that first option? Well, who cares now? Not a single muscle in her small body moved. She was curious, and that's about it. She trusts me. He was about to ask her if she knows where they were and what was going on to happen next, but that was just too much. So, it shouldn't be very difficult. The two of us can manage this. What do you think? He read somewhere a cat should get used to the new surroundings before bathing. Fear is born out of the unknown, and in that regard, people haven't gone too far from cats. New scents, unfamiliar objects, and the splashing of water, these are just shadows under the bed that will fall back if you get a better look at them. Carefully put the cat on the floor. She looked around the room again and returned her questioning eyes to him. It seemed like she got comfortable enough. He turned on the water in the shower and felt a gentle touch. The cat was already loitering around his feet. She was curious indeed. The shower isn't so bad as compared to the rain, is it? The joke came out a little awkward. He felt embarrassed and didn't know why. I wonder why. Because you got a naked-ass human cat around. Thank God the titties are censored, because I felt like I had to do some self-censoring playing this game. I don't think I mentioned... Why am I playing? No, I don't want to play this part. She's just a cat. Maybe it was because of how the water glistened on her skin, or how she was looking at him from under half-lowered lashes. She was actually watching. He met her eyes, and each time felt shame burn through him, but that shame was thick and sweet. He was a little dizzy. His hand slid over her smooth, wet skin, and each time he would ask himself, was it really necessary? Then he would feel her eyes on him, and his thoughts would melt, running down her. This is some weird shit. The bathroom simmered, molten bright, pulsating with light or darkness. He felt he was losing his balance, and pulled his hand away, but she returned and pressed it to the... Stop it! I don't like this. She guided it. I'm a virgin! I'm a virgin and I'm proud, and I'll say it out loud. You love cats. Cats love you. Don't make this into a Momo thing again. I do not like... I ain't no bestiality, nigga. I don't like... No. Ain't doing the dance of the sex with no animals. That's gross. He couldn't remember how he ended up in the living room again. The cat was napping peacefully in his arms. He absently ran his hand down the cat's wet back, tracing the bumps of her spine with his fingers. I should get you some food. Let me see what I have. He got up with just a tad bit difficulty, nothing he couldn't handle. Still, his body felt unusually heavy and unwieldy. He had to give the cat something to eat. He will lie down afterwards, and then, hell, maybe he'll even fall asleep. Maybe he should have gotten the cat from much earlier. A ball of fur with a pair of moon eyes and... So I'm guessing human cat girl hybrids are just like a regular thing in this universe. Cool. And that's about it. That's kind of funny. He could have avoided all that suffering if only he had a cat. Alright, so So what's the meal plan? What are we gonna get for our new cat friend now? Whatever she's gonna scran on. The kitchen blurred before his eyes. He got to the refrigerator and opened it, squinting from the light and leaning on the door way harder than he was supposed to. If the landlady was around at this time, she would have told him exactly so. Don't lean on the door! After all, this is her house and her refrigerator, and everything should be neat and tidy in case she has to move new tenants in. Perhaps the landlady would have even warned him about the milk. The milk itself is completely harmless, unless, of course, you are allergic to lactose, but there's a special kind of lactose-free milk, right? What matters is the bottle. Bottles, much like cats, can vary greatly, and this particular one was made of glass. If only the landlady was here, she would probably have told him not to touch the bottle, because he's falling on the floor and the bottle might break, and then the milk will spill, and he will have nothing to feed the nice cat he found, or rather, it was her who found him, and very timely because he was lying on the floor. He had been lying on the floor for some time, and would have been lying still if he hadn't felt the light touch of something hot and rough on his cheek. It was almost like a dream, although, of course, comparing sleep with fainting isn't quite correct, no matter how you look at it. The floor beneath him was surprisingly hard, cold and wet, probably because it's tile. He felt all those three qualities clearly and afraid to imagine what would happen if he tried to move. But he had to move one way or another, at least to see what's up, because something hot and rough was still sliding up his cheek. It's her tongue, isn't it? Ah! Like, my mouth is parched right now, and I don't have my famous cup with me because it's in the dishwasher. So I'm struggling right now. He jumped on the spot. A shadow rushed to the side and then calmly began to lap milk from a puddle. It's not that bad, but I still gotta censor it. Your bare ass is showing. Well, not bare ass, but you know what I mean. I don't want to see that shit. Can you hurry it up? I don't want to look at this anymore. But I might use it as a thumbnail. Hey, whatever to get the views, okay? I need y'all to click on the video somehow. The cat. What are you doing? The cat looked at him briefly and licked her lips.
No need to be this dramatic.
Hold up. Turn that all the way up so you can actually hear it. Anyway.
You are lying around idly, and you're not even a cat. See?
You're right. I am a human. I am human male.
Besides, you're soaked in milk.
And? Well, you're right. I let you down and had to get my punishment. I let myself down too. Good lord, and now there's cleaning to do until the next advent, like his mother would have said. I'll go get the rag. Stay here and don't ruin what's left of the kitchen while I'm gone. The cat watched him go with a skeptical look. Also, I feel like my mans might be hallucinating or being delusional from the lack of sleep.
Who's been causing all the trouble so far?
You're not wrong. I need sleep. That's all I gotta say. When he returned with the bucket, the cat was gone. Oh shoot! The theater of presents how to bake. How to bake what? Oh shoot! In the kitchen, something exciting is happening. You will need a blade. Did you take the pills? Scratch out the entrails. The Egyptians widely used honey for embalming and preserving food. Later, the recipes were adopted by the Greeks. Also add a teaspoon of apricot jam, a walnut, and a little cinnamon. Before baking, put a teaspoon of butter on top of microwave for 5 to 7 minutes at full power. Don't listen to them scream. Oh shoot, we're actually getting like the scary part of it now. Bon appetit. Bon appetit. I'm sorry. The next time he saw her was in a few days or maybe in a week. He always had a bad sense of time, especially when he was immersed in his work. He still couldn't sleep, but at least he was making some progress on the script. It was a narrative game project, as the customer called it, but actually meant do whatever you have to finish it on time, else forget about payment. And so he did, although he was resentful, and that got in the way a lot. The reason of those feelings was the cat. He knew how stupid that was, but he couldn't help it. He forgave her for the bite almost immediately. That wasn't a thing. He was bitter about how the cat ran away, despite him trying his best to take care of her. She was nowhere to be found in the house, so he immediately thought about an open window on the second floor. Maybe he should have closed it. He dwelled on the thought for a while. He even approached the window at some point, but in the end, he decided not to do anything about it. Man, you missing the pussy already. Tragic. He was hoping, and there was no shame in that. It's not the same as you turn 10 and start eyeing a girl. The cat would come back. You were definitely trying to pipe that, huh? And she did. Ooh. I'm gonna stop it right here. I'm gonna make this a series. Oh, this is actually fun. Alright, this is fun and this is exciting. So I'm gonna leave it right there just because I actually kind of wanted to make this a series now. I don't know how long this is gonna be, and I don't want to record for too long. I want to make these bite-sized. If I'm gonna do another long series again, which will probably be not soon, but like soon enough, I guess. Just keep a lookout on that, okay? I'm not used to doing long recordings, because last time I did them was probably Coffee Talk, and that ended like 2-3 weeks ago, almost. But like, comment, sub, follow the extra Twitter, whatever it's called. I don't know, buckle up, because I feel like gonna start to hit the fan. I can't speak English right now. I can't word correctly, but I'm gonna start doing a series on this. Next video, I don't know, probably will be, probably won't, who knows. That concludes the show, ladies and gentlemen, they, thems. Make sure to say see you later on your way out and catch you next show. Till next time, peace out.